everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back. Today we are working on Collaged Corner Flips. We all have this paper that, it's okay, but it's not our favorite. You know, how many travel journals am I going to make? I buy this pack from Hobby Lobby. It's called Ephemera. And it has everything in it. It has florals, roses, labels, book page, so many things that I love. But I can only make so many books to put the travel stuff in. And also bees. I mean, unless you're making a bees journal, I have about 4 of these stacks, and these pages are piling up. So I saw Julie at Camellia Crafts Designs make these collaged corner flips. Sorry about the ums. I don't realize I say until I go back and edit, and then it's like, oh my word. Anyway, I guess you could say so, but whatever. There again, we have this pages that we don't want to use. So I have cut them down to 4 by 4, which gives me 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I am just going to fold these. And you can see my cutter didn't do a tremendous job. So we're just gonna do corner flips for our Make Ahead Monday. And I think I'm going to have to pause this video because I forgot to pull over my scraps and my focal points, and they're on the other side of the room. So let me finish folding, get the rest of my stuff, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we've got this folded up. I'm going to get a little bit of ink here, some walnut stain. I am going to ink these because I want to ink inside, really. Don't need to ink on the outside yet until we cover it. We're only going to cover one side, and I am going to trim off the edge because, you know, now that I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, well, that's actually pretty cool. So we could do some of these. Let's see. Let's do some with just a focal point because this is very Tim Holtz-ish, and I'm going to use some. But the ones that have all the map stuff on them, I probably will. Let's see what's on this. Yeah, this is kind of just a little bit of map, but not a lot. We'll do about. And I may not get them all done. Well, that looks cool. I like that one better. May not get them all done on camera, so we'll just see. So for now, I have my Tim Holtz ephemera here. Let's see what's in here. I don't know what happened to my flowers. Oh, looks like everything got morphed together. So I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm just going to stick some stuff on there. And you could use these larger cards if you wanted, but I think I'll use like a playing card. Some of the small ephemera that I never get around to using. See, there's a nice bee, and these are kind of big. I'll save those. But you know, there's so much in these Tim Holtz ephemera packs that I never get to using. So I'm going to rip some page and stick back there, and I'll do the same on this one. Not thinking too much about it. The butterfly. 79 cents. I'm just looking that I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 because the eye likes odd numbers, and we'll go from there. Now I do have some stuff. Oh, I did have some stuff. What did I do with it? Huh, I don't know. I had all those little pieces, there they are, from the last project. Here we go. Some burlap and lace trim, so I'll wait on that. And yeah, we'll just get to inking and gluing. I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend. I'm not sure when this might air, after the holiday weekend or on the holiday weekend, so, or on the Monday itself. This is a sticker. Some of these that are in here may not be Tim Holtz. They might be your Creative Studio, because if they were similar, I kind of just threw them in. I'm not sure. This one's not a sticker. And I think I'm going to switch this out. This is paper. This is from, I know this is from the New Year's poppers. The kids are always like, Mom, you want this? So, funny story. My husband went to see his mom in Salt Lake City, and he comes back and he goes, I got you something. And it was a bag of bags from the restaurants. You know, the silverware bags. And I'm like, wow, he knows me. He had all of them that he was with his mom and stepdad saving, handing them over. So I got another big bag of bags. So that was funny. But anyway, he also got me a, what do you call it, a lighted lantern that says love you to the moon and back. You know, it has glitter. And when the light is on, the glitter is heated up and it kind of swims around. It's pretty cool. But most of the time I just have it sitting in the window because the sun shines through it during the day, so I don't have to kill the battery. So kind of fun. But okay, so I didn't ink all of these in here. That will take a minute. Not going for perfect. That one's inked. So I've been having fun with these Make Ahead Mondays. They're just replenishing my stash and looking for things that I don't normally make, because I seem to try, I seem to, you know, gravitate toward the same things. I mean, this is one of them, but because I do make these little flips, but I do them, you know, slightly differently than this. And the whole point of this one is gussy up what you don't like. So these four, I actually am just decorating the way they are because I do like them. But let's get some glue on the subject. I think I want to lay this. Let's see if I can get the glue to go down. There we go. The secret to getting the glue to cooperate is not to let it sit with the cap off. Hello, I do that all the time. Okay. Just gonna glue that on there. This is not a sticker, so I'm going to glue this one first, and then I'll put that sticker over the top. If I can get the back off. Let's see. I can't tell you how many times I've glued down the stickers and then later they come off, so I can tell this is a sticker because I can see the white edge. And I'm just going to stick this right on the, well, let's do it with the 12 on the top. Right there. Okay, and let's do this one the opposite. So this one will be a very simple one, and then we'll kick the next one up a little bit. Run this along the side, make it a little bit different. I mean, they're not going to be next to each other in a journal, so it's not, I mean, if you make the same pocket, it's not going to be that big deal. All right, stick that one there. Try to get it straight. And then we have our butterfly, which I don't think is a sticker. Yeah, it's stiff. And his little antennae, antlers are intact. So I think I'll put them right there. Okay, so those are ready to go, simple as can be. So let's do 2 more, and we're going to add the trim, and we'll make them a little bit more. All right, so I think I'll put the card down first. And probably put that up here. And then I'll put the flowers. No, let's put some burlap. And I do want to take off some of this outside pieces so it looks a little like frayed burlap. Okay. And I think I'll just stick that right in the middle. I'm making it up as I go, guys. No rhyme or reason. Just mixing it up. Alright, then we have this piece, which is also not a sticker. And I think I'm going to come, maybe I'll come along this way. And then, where can I get this in here? And yeah, let's do that. So, just a little bit for this lace trim. Try not to get all my fingers gluey. Alright, and we'll take our little bee. My son is really into bees. He likes the bee motif, so we're always looking for things for him. And I showed him the other day. I took him out to lunch, and I'm making him an Afghan, a plaid Afghan. And so I let him go pick out the yarn, and we looked at all the bee stuff they have there. So there we go. We'll put that down like that. And then we'll try to mimic this on the other side, but we're not going to worry about whether it's perfect or not. So let's use this on the side where the card was. This is just my method. This is my method of doing things. Doesn't have to be, you don't have to do it the same way. Let's do the burlap. But when you're mass making, it's easier to repeat the same processes over and over so that it takes a little less time. And that's important for me because I get bored really quickly. So I'll put that little circle there. Lay that piece down. Okay, and we have the butterfly. I want the butterfly on top, so do I want that? Yeah, well, it'll work. It'll work. Because I've had this piece in there forever. I don't know what it is. It looks like a clock. With some, or maybe like a watch face that has like some of the moon cycles or something in there, stars. Anyway, and then we'll take this and lay it down in the middle. And it also is more pleasing to the eye when you have odd numbers. So 3 things or 5 things, your eye likes that comfort. I don't know why, but that's what I've been told. His antenna, aka antlers, are also intact. And I'm just going to stick those down like that. Easy, easy, easy. And you could put bling on that or more lace trim or whatever you want, but you don't need to. I try to keep these flat because we're writing on it. If I'm going to put lace, I usually put it on the edge or on the side edge or on the bottom edge, you know, one of the three edges. And there we go. Okay, so we've got 4 done. Now, let's get to the collaging that Julie was doing. So I have I got to clear off a space for my pieces parts. I have some book page. I have some music. I have some scrap paper. I don't know why that's in there, but it's there. I've got this. I'll try and use up some of these little pieces. And what else have I got in here? Got some more fur lace. It's my favorite. And yeah, just pulling out some little tiny, some green paper. Okay, that ought to do us. All right, so say you have this map here and you don't want to use it, you just cover it up. So let's do that. This one will be a little bit more busy, a little busier. Just trying to make that flat so I can work with it. There we go. All right, so let's get started. Let's start with taking this edge off of the music. Okay. And while I'm tearing paper, if you would give this video a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. For some reason, YouTube algorithm is not showing my videos because I'm getting like, I have over 2,000 subscribers and I'm getting like 20 views. So if you have a second and you could give me a like. I know a lot of people watch on TV. I myself watch it on TV and I forget to go back and like and comment, but I've been trying to be more conscious of that, and it really does help. Or share it with a friend. That works too. All right, so sorry if this is loud tearing. I love this paper. And once you get this on, I probably could use book page for this, but I want to make sure it's drying quick. And whatever is over the edge will be trimmed. So, and we can always go back and touch up the edges if need be. So let's put that there. I like that it's kind of see-through, and just using lots of different pages here. This is from Pickwick. I found the Pickwick book that Gail was working with because it had my initials on the front, so I was like, hey, I need that. I'm going to use it when it's empty maybe I'll use it for a diary or a glue book or some such. We'll see. Alright, so we can, oh, this is folded. Oh, we've got 2 sides to deal with here. Okay, cool. Alright, I might just run this down the side and then use that other piece too. Oh, not quite. Not quite long enough, but that's okay. Do this side. Oh, I did that one on the wrong side. That's okay. We have another side over here. Maybe I'll just do the opposite. put this one on the bottom. And then we'll see where we need to fill in. Oh, I wanted to use this side. I'll have to rub off that glue. It will come off, which is nice. Then I'll use this side for this one. Oh great, I stuck my glue bottle inside those other pockets. Okay. I'll do this one up this edge here. There we go. Alright, and I don't think it matters because we started out with a really cool pattern. I really don't think it matters if you cover the whole thing, so I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to trim this off really quickly, and we're going to be careful not to cut that flip. Intact. Alright, then we want to cut off the edge. But this just will cover up something, you know, that you just don't want to use. Not that it's, you know, ugly or, you know, bad. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know why that took me so long to think of that. Just that I have so much of the same pattern, and I don't necessarily want to use them all. So, reinvent. I'm trying to be careful not to cut into the page because that's what I do. I will cut in. Okay, so now we are where we were before. So I'm going to switch these out because I put those words on upside down, and I know that bugs people. So we'll do that, and all the words will be sideways. And then I'm just going to put a cluster on these. So let's do some, you know, I love my burlap. You know, I had never thought about doing burlap clusters until I saw, I think it's Teresa Ferenz, I think that's her name. She hasn't made a video in years, probably 2-3 years, maybe longer. But she made beautiful journals, and I saw one that she did that was kind of a farmhouse style, and it had these burlap clusters, and I fell in love with them. So just going to put some glue down, and that can go down. If you let this silicone get dirty and you don't peel off that glue, it will stick to itself. I have to remind myself of that, so if I tell you, maybe I'll remember. And it also comes off easier if it's not super dry. I mean, it'll come off, but just use your little gum eraser, a little whatever this is. Alright, so what do we want next? We're going to put that, since I have all these little pieces, let's use them up. And go the opposite direction. Not that it matters. If you want it, you know, what do they call it? Cattywampus? Or diagonal, or whatever, or anything goes, that works too. Alright, so let's find a focal point. And this time I'm just gonna use one focal point, so that's too big. No. I wish I hadn't mixed these together because it's really hard to see what's in here now, but these are all too big. You know what? I'm going to get my other box. I had butterflies sitting right here on my desk. I'll use those. Where'd they go? Here they are. Let's use those because I was going to use these in the Dolly journal and I just couldn't find a place where I wanted to put them. So let's use those here. And these are just punched out of some scraps. I don't remember if this is from the roses and butterflies or if it was from something else, but probably need a little bit more glue right there in the middle. Look how that changes the whole look of that. It changes it from semi-grungy to classic. That could go either way. It could go grungy, it could go shabby chic, you name it. Let me get these little pieces of things out of the way. This might have been some journal cards because this looks like the patterns. Yeah, this is from the roses and butterflies collection from my porch prints. So I thought I got a little excess glue on there. I can rub that off in a minute, but let's glue this one down, and then I don't see why we can't add bling. I had some sitting here, so use what's on your desk. Be inspired by what's on your desk. I need to do more of that. I think about that. I think, oh, I've got all this, I need to use this, and then I get busy doing bigger projects, but oh, I want to put some, just a squirt down there, just to hold that better. And then let's use some of this bling that I found on the floor. Okay, how many do we need? 3 is sufficient. And I have these extra strings I want to cut off, so try not to cut my fingers. I don't know, it just, to me, it just is fun when you have the bling. And I don't always use it because it is tedious, but I do like the way it looks. Can't get the glue off my fingers. It's stuck together. Sorry about my ugly fingers. Alright, so let's do a little bit there. And by the time we get the back off of this, that'll be ready to stick good. Well, that didn't take as long as I had thought. Alright. These butterflies don't have antennae, so they need something. This is a punch from Hobby Lobby, if I remember correctly. Alright, let's do this one. I'm just putting it on the cardstock itself, and that'll keep it. It is sticky on the back sometimes, but not enough to stick it down without glue, of course. So there we go. Okay, 2 more. All right. So now that we have 6, I don't know where I put those. Oh. All right, so now we've got somehow only 3 of these. How did that happen? Oh, because we started with 9. Okay, so one's going to go in the scrap bin, and we will cover up. Let's see which one. Let's look at these. I think we can work with this, because if it's in the scrap bin, it's going to, yeah, switch that one out. It's going to get used eventually, we hope. Alright, so let's use a little bit bigger piece of book page. I'm going to go maybe diagonal with it this time. Should have laid it on its side. A little tornado in there. Okay. And I'm just going to lay that down. That's kind of crooked, but I think that'll work. And then we'll use the music on this side. Let's see. We do it like that. And then we can put something there. And whatever I do on one side, I try to do on the other. Let's use a little piece of this, kind of like this paper. There we go. So it doesn't have to be, you know, the biggest piece of paper here. Oops. I want to move that down because I want most of the words to be on there rather than the blank edges. Let's do a little bit of music. We can do that music. Tear off this part. Okay. Alrighty. And we have that same blank place, so let's put that similar piece in there. Alright, let's clean it up. Make sure it's not glued shut. Now, all of this stuff is from my blade on my cutter because I cut chipboard and now it doesn't want to cut this Hobby Lobby. It's very cottony paper. Alright, big difference. Let's do this one. Okay, I'll come this way. Okay. Alrighty. I keep that music piece, but these other little tiny, well, you never know when you might need a space for it. Alright, so we have got another piece I need to cut off of here. Just, okay. Now, touch up places that I missed. I mean, it's going to get glued down with the little ephemera pieces on top, so, but when you're using the larger pieces, it's hard to see, and I didn't want all the glue off the side, so, okay. So there we go. Looks like still missed a piece here. Yep. Okay. So do I want it this way? If I do it this way, it's upside down, so yes, I want it this way. Okay. So what do we want to put on top? Do we want to do butterflies again? Why not? They're here. So this is a more neutral kind of butterfly, and it won't show up on there, but I think it will if I put the burlap. Now, I don't know that it would show up. See, it'll show up on the burlap, but I'm not sure how it will do on this. Yeah, it'll be all right. Okay, I'm going to use them both because I have them here, and I'm just going to repeat. Like I said, if you do the same thing multiple times, it's a little quicker. Also, if you set your glue bottle on the side, you don't have to wait so long for it to get to the bottom. Now I'm just putting the burlap in the middle. You can do whatever you want. And also, this burlap that I'm using is not, this is from burlap ribbon, the kind with the wire on it, but I had so much of it that I just grabbed it one day and cut off the wire because I wanted something that was a little tighter weave than what I had. I also have this stuff that I have not used, and I have it, oops, it's unraveling. I have this in white and kind of a cream color, so I need to get to using that. It's been sitting here for a couple of years, so I should just cut it all up into strips. Or, you know what I think I originally bought it for was a snippet trim. That's what I should do. Yeah, I need to get my kids involved in that and just say all hands on deck. Okay, so let's do a little piece of the ribbon. Again. I should put that on the other way, then it would have stayed down, but it'll work. All right, time for the butterfly. Yeah, that works. In fact, that makes it very neutral. That could go in any journal. Because we didn't use just that little bit of scrapbook paper right there with the little tiny flowers on it. And let's do some more. Well, I don't know that I have any. Let's use this. I have this bling, and it's pearls, which works for me. So let me cut it there, and I'll do 3 and 3, and the roll went everywhere. So, okay, that's how stuff gets on my desk, because I pull it out, it knocks stuff over, I pick it up and I put it on my desk. I'm just going to glue it the way it is. Not worried about those little spiny things. But this way, instead of putting the pink on it, we're keeping it neutral. So, if I can, stuck to my spatula. Okay. So we made 8. That's good. That's 4 journals. That's nice. I like it. And I used up some of the stuff on my desk. So let me put all these scraps away. And this burlap lace. And then I'll pull those back and we can look at them. And I can put this ephemera piece where it belongs, which is in this envelope back here. And, okay, so we have these 2 neutral ones that we covered. As is the title, we were making Collaged Corner Flips, so they flip. We didn't ink the inside of this, but we can do that. And then we have, so we have those 2, and then we have these 2 butterfly ones, a little bit more shabby chic or grungy if you ink it up real good. And then we have the bee and the butterfly there, and then we have the Tim Holtz style cluster. So I think that looks pretty good. Of course, they're all off screen, so let me bring them down here so you can see them all. I really like the last ones we did. And that's what I find to be true sometimes, is that the more you play, the more you like a certain way, and so you tend to repeat it and modify it slightly and perfect it. So have a fun play. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.